One pop star took control back from the corporations that owned her. She didn't ask for permission. She didn't play nice. She burned the old system down and built a new one on her terms. This is how Taylor Swift seized power in the music industry. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're breaking down the most ruthless power play in modern music history. Taylor Swift didn't just win, she changed the rules of the game forever. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how one artist dismantled a 100-year-old system. Let's rewind to 2006. A 16-year-old Taylor Swift signed her first record deal with Big Machine Records. At the time, this seemed like a dream come true. But here's what most people don't understand about traditional record deals. When you sign on the dotted line, you're essentially giving away ownership of your life's work. Under her contract, Big Machine owned the master recordings of every song Taylor created. What does that mean? It means that even though she wrote the songs, performed them, and built her entire career on them, she didn't own them. The label did. And they could sell them, license them, or profit from them without her permission. For years, Taylor played by these rules. She released album after album, became one of the biggest stars on the planet, and made her label hundreds of millions of dollars. But she was paying attention. She was learning. And she was planning. In 2014, Taylor made her first major move against the industry status quo. Spotify had been growing rapidly, and most artists were reluctantly accepting the new streaming reality, even though they were getting paid fractions of pennies per stream. Taylor pulled her entire catalog from Spotify. The backlash was immediate. Critics called her greedy, out of touch, elitist. But Taylor understood something crucial. If artists don't value their own work, no one else will. She wrote a powerful op-ed in the Wall Street Journal arguing that music is art and art has value. She wasn't fighting for herself alone. She was fighting for every songwriter and musician watching their income evaporate in the streaming era. She was teaching the industry a lesson they'd been avoiding for years. Artists are not products to be consumed. They're the entire supply chain. Eventually, she returned to Spotify, but only after helping to shift the conversation about fair compensation for artists. This was just the warm-up. Here's where things get explosive. In 2019, Taylor's worst nightmare came true. Her old label, Big Machine Records, was sold to Scooter Braun's company for $300 million. And included in that sale? The master recordings of her first 6 albums. Taylor was devastated and furious. She had tried to buy her masters back, but Big Machine's founder, Scott Borchetta, refused to negotiate fairly. Instead, he sold them to Braun, someone Taylor had publicly stated had bullied her for years. Most artists would have accepted defeat. The music industry had always worked this way. The labels held the power. But Taylor Swift isn't most artists. She went public. She explained to her millions of fans exactly what masters are, why they matter, and what had been taken from her. She pulled back the curtain on the music industry's exploitative practices. Suddenly, the entire world was talking about artist rights, ownership, and the predatory nature of record contracts. But talking wasn't enough. Taylor needed to take action. And then she announced the most audacious plan in music history. She would re-record all 6 albums, from scratch, note for note, song for song. Think about what this means. Taylor would create brand new master recordings that she would own completely. And because she wrote the songs, she owned the composition rights. The old masters would become obsolete, worthless, even because fans would stream and buy Taylor's version instead. She couldn't destroy the house they built, so she built an identical one right next door and invited everyone to move in. This wasn't just about Taylor getting her music back. This was a blueprint for every artist trapped in an unfair contract. She was proving that artists have more power than they think. The re-recordings started dropping, and they didn't just match the originals. They often improved on them. Fearless Taylor's version debuted at #1. Red Taylor's version broke streaming records. Each release was both a commercial success and a middle finger to the old system. Scooter Braun eventually sold the masters at a loss, according to reports. Taylor's strategy had worked. She had devalued his investment and reclaimed her narrative. Taylor's fight sent shockwaves through the music world. Suddenly, young artists started reading their contracts more carefully. They started demanding better terms. Some labels began offering more artist-friendly deals because they knew the next generation wouldn't accept the old exploitation. A generation of musicians realized they didn't have to wait 20 years to fight back. They could negotiate from day one. Other major artists spoke out about their own masters' issues. The conversation shifted. What was once accepted as just how the business works became recognized as fundamentally unjust. But Taylor didn't stop there. During the pandemic, she surprise dropped 2 indie folk albums, Folklore and Evermore, that she owned completely. She proved she didn't need the traditional album cycle, the massive marketing machine, or even the pop sound that made her famous. She had artistic freedom and direct connection to her fans. Then came the Eras Tour, the highest-grossing concert tour of all time. When Ticketmaster's system collapsed under demand, Taylor again used her platform to call out corporate incompetence. Congress literally held hearings about Ticketmaster's monopoly because of the fallout. So what's the real lesson here? Taylor Swift understood something fundamental. In the modern era, the connection between artist and fan is more valuable than any contract. The old music industry was built on gatekeeping. Labels controlled distribution, radio, and access to audiences. But streaming, social media, and direct-to-fan platforms changed everything. Artists who build genuine relationships with their audiences don't need the old gatekeepers anymore. Taylor had the leverage because she had the fans. And she used that leverage not just for herself, but to expose and challenge a system that had exploited artists for decades. She transformed herself from a product of the music industry into a force that bent the industry to her will. She proved that artists can own their work, control their narrative, and still achieve unprecedented success. Taylor Swift didn't just flip the music industry. She rewrote the playbook for artist empowerment in the digital age. She showed us that knowing your worth, understanding your leverage, and fighting for what's right can actually win. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit that subscribe button. We're dissecting the power moves behind pop culture's biggest moments. Drop a comment. What industry needs a Taylor Swift moment next? Let's talk. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.